The power and creations. Every moment of your life is infinitely creative and the universe is endlessly beautiful. Just put forth a clear enough request and everything your heart deserves must come to you. In these next chapters, you will learn how easy it is to harness the force of love for money, health, career, business, and relationships. With this knowledge, you will be able to change your life into whatever you want. To bring a specific deserve to you, follow the simple steps of the creation process. Whether it is bringing something you want or changing something you don't want, the process is always the same. The creation process. Imagine it, feel it, and receive it. 1. Imagine. Use your mind to focus on and image what you deserve. Imagine yourself being with your deserve. Imagine yourself doing things with your deserve. Imagine yourself having your deserve. 2. Feel. At the same time as you imagine, you must feel love for what you are imagining. You must imagine and feel being with your deserve. You must imagine and feel doing things with your deserve. You must imagine and feel having your deserve. Your imagination connects you to what you want. You deserve and feeling of love create the magnetic power drawing your deserve to you. This completes your part in the creation process. 3. Receive. The force of love will work through the visible and invisible force of nature to bring what you deserve to you. It will use circumstance, event, and people to give what you love to you. Whatever you deserve, you must want it with all your heart. Deserve is love. And unless you have a burning deserve in your heart, you will not have enough power to harness the force of love. You must really deserve what you want. As an architect deserves to pay a resort, a dancer deserves to dance, and a painter deserves to paint. You must deserve what you want with all your heart because deserve is a feeling of love. And you must give love to receive what you love. Whatever you want to be in your life, whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you want to have in your life, the creation process is the same. Give love to receive love. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. When using the creation process, imagine and feel that you have what you want already and never deviate from that state of being. Why? Because the law of attraction copies whatever you give, and so you must imagine and feel having it now. If you want to lose weight, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself with the body you love instead of imagining and feeling that you are overweight every single day. If you want to travel, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself traveling instead of imagining every day that you don't have the money to travel. If you want to improve yourself in a sport, acting, singing, playing a musical instrument, hobby, or in your job, then give love for what you want to be by imagining and feeling whatever it is you would love to be. If you want a better marriage or a better relationships with anybody, then give love by imagining and feeling what it would be like to have that relationship. When you begin working with a creation process, you might want to start by attracting something unusual. When you specifically attract something unusual, you will be left in no doubt about your power when you receive it. One young woman began by choosing to attack a specific flower, a white calla lily. She imagined holding the flower in her hand, smelling the flower, and she felt having that calla lily. 2 weeks later, she went to a friend's house for dinner, and there in the uh, centerpiece of the table was a banquet of white calla lilies, the very flower and color she has imagined. She was excited to see the lilies, but she did not say anything to her friend about her imagined flower. As she was walking out of the door at the end of the evening, her friend's daughter spontaneously plucked one white calla lily from the vase and put it in her hand. Give it, receive it. Remember that the law of attraction says whatever you give, you receive. If you think of the law of attraction as a mirror, an echo, a boomerang, or a copying machine, it will help make you clearly on what you imagine and feel. The law of attraction is like a mirror because a mirror reflects back exactly what is in front of it. The law of attraction is like an echo because whatever you give out is exactly the echo that comes back. The law of attraction is like a boomerang because whatever boomerang you throw is the exact same boomerang that comes back to you. The law of attraction is like a copying machine because whatever you give is reproduced exactly and you will receive back an exactly copy. A few years ago, I was in Paris for my work and I was walking down a street when a woman rushed past me wearing one of the most beautiful skirts I had seen. Intricately detailed in a Parisian style, my reaction was love. Was a beautiful skirt. A few weeks later, I was happily driving to work in Melbourne, Australia, when I was forced to stop because another driver was trying to do an illegal U-turn at an intersection. As I looked at the store window where I had been forced to stop, I saw the exactly same skirt I had seen on a woman in the streets of Paris. I could not believe my eyes. When I got to work, I called the store and they told me they had received only one skirt from Europe in that style, and it was the skirt in the window. Of course, the skirt was my size. When I went to the store to purchase the skirt, it was reduced of half price, and the store attendant told me they had not ordered the skirt, and that it had just appeared in their order accidentally. The only thing I had done to bring that skirt to me was to love it. And from Paris to a suburban street in Australia, through circumstance and events, the exact same skirt was delivered to me. This is the magnetic power of love. This is laws of This is love's law of attraction in operation. When you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. When you imagine something positive, something good, and you feel love for it, that is what you are giving, and that is what you will receive. If you can imagine it and feel it, then you can receive it. But what you are imagining must come from love. Whatever you are imagining must not harm another person. Imagining something that being harm to another person comes not from love, but from a lack of love. And with certainty, Any negativity, even imagined, will turn back with an equal ferocity on the person who sent it. Whatever you give, you receive back. But I want to tell you something fantastic about the force of love and your imagination. The highest and best thing you think is possible is nothing compared to what the force of love can give to you. Love has no limit. If you want to be full of vitality and happiness with an incredible zest for life, the force of love can give you health and happiness at level far beyond what you have seen. I am telling you this so that you can start to break the boundary of your imagination and stop putting limit on your life. Push your imagination to the limit and imagine that the best and highest that you possible can of whatever it is that you want. The difference between someone who is stuck and someone who has a fabulous life comes down to one thing: love. Those who have a great life imagine what they love and what they want, and they feel the love of what they are imagining more than other people. People who are struggling are unintentionally using their imagination for what they don't love and don't want, and they are feeling the negative of what they are imagining. It is such simple thing that but is a greatest vast difference in people's lives, and you can see the difference everywhere you look. History has provided those who dare to imagine the impossible are the ones who break all human limitations in every field of human endeavors, whether science, medicine, sport, the arts, or technology, are the name of the people who imagine the impossible are engraved in our history. By breaking the limit of their imagination, they changed the world. Your entry life is what you have imagined it to be. Everything you have or you don't have, every situation and circumstance of your life is what you have imagined it to be. The problem is that many people imagine the worst. They are turning the most wonderful tool against themselves. Instead of imagining the best, many people are in fear and imagine all the things that can go wrong. And as surely as they keep imagining and feeling those things, they happen. Whatever you give, you receive. Feel and imagine the best and the highest you can in every area of your life, because the best you can imagine is a piece of cake for the force of love. When my family had settled in the United States, we flew our 15 years old dog, Kabi, to be with us. One night, not long after Kabi has arrived, he managed to get out of a small gap in the fence. Our home back onto mountain, so it was far from an ideal situation. In the dark, we skirted the street and the trail leading up to the mountain, but our dog was nowhere to be found. As my daughter and I were searching, negative feeling of August began to increase. I knew we had to stop searching and change the way we were feeling inside immediately. The negative feelings were telling us that we were imagining the worst, and we had to change the way we were feeling quickly and imagine the best. At that point, every possible outcome could still happen, and we had to choose the outcome of having Cabby safely home with us. By imagination, by imagining and feeling that he was home. We returned home and we pretended our dog was with us. We put food in his bowl as though he were there. We imagined hearing the bell around cabinet as he walked down our hallway. We talked to him and called out his name as thought he were there. My daughter went to bed, imagined that her best friend of 15 years was sleeping next to her bed as he always did. Early in the next morning, we discovered a notice on a tree that at the foot of the mountain saying that someone had found a little dog. It was Kabi. Just as we had imagined, our dog returned home safely to us. No matter what challenging situation you may find yourself in, imagine the best outcome and feel it. When you do, you will change the circumstance and you will change the situation into what you want. Whatever deserve you can imagine already exists. It does not matter what it is. If you can imagine it, it already exists in creation. 5,000 years ago, ancient scripture record that all of creation was done and complete, and that anything that could possible be created already exists. Now, 5,000 years later, quantum physics has confirmed that every single possibility of anything and everything exactly exists now. What that means for you and your life is that whatever you can imagine for yourself in your life already exists. It's impossible for you to imagine anything that does not exist. Creation is complete. Every single possibility exists. So, when you imagine breaking a world record or traveling to Far East or being full of health or being a parent, those possibilities of you doing those things exist in creation right now. If they did not exist already, you would not be able to imagine them. To bring the thing you deserve and love from the invisible into your visible life. All you have to do is give love for what you want through your imagining and feeling. Imagine your life the way you want it to be. Imagine everything you want. Take your imagination with you every day and imagine what it would be like if your relationships were all wonderful. Imagine how you would feel it if your job suddenly took off. Imagine how your life would be if you had the money you need to do what you love. Imagine how you would feel if you were overflowing with health. Imagine how you would feel if you could do what you want to do. Use all of your senses to imagine what you want. If you want to travel to Italy, imagine the smell of olive oil, taste the pasta, hear Italian words being spoken to you. Touch the stone of the Colosseum and feel being in Italy. In conversations and in your thoughts, say, imagine if, ... and then fill in the rest of the sentence with what you want. If you are talking to a friend and they are complaining because their work colleague got a promotion and they did not help them by saying, imagine if the reason you did not get that promotion is that you are being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money, because the truth is that the possibility of your friend being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money already exists, and if they can imagine and feel it, they can receive it. Use your imagination and create games so that you feel really good. Whatever you can imagine is waiting for you, fully created in the invisible, and the way to make it visible is to harness the force of love by imagining and feeling what you love. After graduating from college, a young woman stuck for a month and month trying to get a job. Her biggest obstacle was imagining having a job when she did not have one. She wrote in her journal every day that she was grateful for the job that was coming to her, but still no job. Then she had a sudden realization. Her desperate action of applying for one job after another was saying loud and clear to the law of attraction that she did not have a job. So here is what the young woman did that changed everything. She decided to use their imagination and live as though she were already employed. She set her alarm early as if she were going to work. Instead of writing to her journal that she was grateful for the job that was coming, she wrote her grateful she was for her success in her job and for the people she worked with. She planned the clothes she would wear to work each day. She set up a saving account for her paychecks. Within 2 weeks, she felt as though she really has a job. Then, out of the blue, a friend told her about a position that had become available. She went for an interview, got the job, and received everything she had written about in her journal. Pump yourself up. Whenever you permit yourself to think what person, things, condition, or circumstance may suggest, you are not following what you want to think. You are not following your own desires, but borrow desires. Use your imagination in determining what you want to think or do. When using the creation process, use all the prompts you can to generate the feeling that you have what you want already. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, photographs, and relevant objects so you can imagine and feel the feeling of having what you want. If you want new clothes, make sure you have space in your wardrobe with empty coat hanger ready for your new clothes. If you want to bring more money into your life, does your wallet have space for money, or is it full of irrelevant bits of paper? If you want the perfect partner, you must imagine and feel that the person is with you now. Are you sleeping in the middle of your bed, or are you sleeping on one side because your partner is on the other side of your bed? If your partner were with you now, you would be using only half the space in your wardrobe because your partner clothes would be in the other half of the wardrobe. Do you set your table for 2 people or 1 people? Just putting out an extra place in something you can easily do. Do your best not to contradict your desire in your day-to-day actions, and instead use the world of prompts that surround you to feel as though you have what you want. These are simple little things you can do with prompts and your imagination, but they are incredibly powerful. One woman used prompts and her imagination to receive a horse. She had wanted a horse all her life, but she could not afford to buy one. She wanted a chestnut, Morgan, giving, and a Morgan would cost thousands and thousands of dollars. So she imagined seeking the exact horse she wanted each time she looked outside her kitchen window. She put a picture of a chestnut Morgan horse on the screen of her laptop computer. Whenever she has the opportunity, she doodled drawing of the horse. She began looking at horse for sale, even though she could not afford them. She took her children to a store and together they tried on riding boots. She looked at sadly. She bought the only thing she could afford, a horse blanket, lead, and horse bruise, and she kept them on display so she could see them every day. Some time later, the woman went to a horse expo in her town. A laughing was being held at the expo, and the first prize was a chestnut Morgan gelding, the exact same horse she had been imagining, and of course she would laugh and receive her horse. Your senses are pumps too, so use all your senses to help you feel that you have what you want. Feel the touch of what you want with your skin, taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. One man worked with all his senses to bring himself multiple job offers. He has applied for 25 positions over 2 years and had not received a single job offer. But then he used his imagination and all his sense to imagine he has his dream job. He imagined every detail in his new job. He touched the key of his computer in his imagination. He smelled the lemon scent of the furniture polished on his new mahogany desk. He imagined his work colleagues. He gave them names. He had conversation with them. He had meeting with them. He even tasted the tacos at lunch breaks. 7 weeks later, he began receiving requests from interviews, then requests for second interviews poured in. Then he received not only one fantastic job offer but two. He accepted the job he loved the most. It was his dream job. Know that when you have completed your part in the creation process, creation is done. You are no longer in the old world where you did not have what you want. You have moved into a new world that contains that everything you want, even if you cannot see it yet. Know that you will receive it. Point of power. To harness the force of love in your life, to bring something you want or change something you don't want. The creation process is already the same. Imagine it, feel it, and receive it. Your imagination connects you to what you want, you deserve, and feeling of love create the magnetic power drawing your deserve to you. Imagine yourself being with your deserve. At the same time, feel love for what you are imagining. Deserve what you want with all of your heart, because deserve is a feeling of love, and you must give love to receive what you love. When you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. Push your imagination to the limit and imagine the best and highest that you possible can of whatever it is that you want. Whatever deserve you can imagine already exists. If does not matter, what is it? If you can imagine it, it already exists in creation. In conversations and in your thoughts, say, imagine if, and then complete the sentence with what you want. Use prompts. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, photographs, and relevant objects so you can imagine and feel the feeling of having what you want. Your senses are a prompt too. Use all your senses to help you feel that you have what you want. Feel it, taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. When you have completed your part in your creation process, you have moved into a new world that contains the very thing you want even if you cannot see it yet. Know you will receive it.